have like a lot of like racial problems and like definitely the cops, you know what I mean? And I know that shit is worldwide. It's not just in America, but one thing like America had like hip hop and music in general has helped like bridge that gap. You know what I mean?
Culture,
exactly. So like from your perspective out here, like what you know what I mean?
I keep it real. I told Dunny, it must have been one of these niggas in this room because these are my closest niggas. But I told Dunny that right now in England the race thing is still here, but it's got to a point where it's more of a poor and rich issue, isn't it? If I'm saying that I've got white boys who grew up in my state and they're just as broke as my family was, or they're just in the same position my mum is, or their mum's in the same position my mum is, you know what I mean? So you can't really differentiate and say, yo, you're not in the same position because you're white. Yeah, maybe in life if we did both and go get the same job or interview for the same job, he might get that blind because he's white. I don't think it's as deep as it was 10 years ago. Like, if you know about Stephen Lawrence and that kind of thing, I don't think that kind of thing would happen again.
What is that? Tell us about
Stephen Lawrence, he's a guy, in 1993 over here, he got murdered by a group of racist white guys, but the people know who it is, the police know who it is, but...
Police was involved.
The police was involved in hiding the case. You know what I'm saying?
Racism will always exist, unfortunately.
Of course.
It will always be there.
But you can agree with me now, it's not as bad.
Racism will always be there.
Of course it's going to be there, but it's not as bad as it was. You know what I'm saying?
It's not as bad.
I can go to... let's put it this way. Let's put it this way, yeah?
Shit pissed me off in Chicago.
If I be real, 10 years or 5 years ago, if I went to any of these lovely ladies in this room's house, yeah, not you, like individually, but a white person's house, maybe the parents would look at me a different way. Who's this guy?
My parents would.
I've had that experience. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm saying
everyone is different.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's everyone. I'm not saying it's you. That's what I'm saying. Like, remember I said that from the start.
Not
I'm saying
everyone
Can I
sees
just
that
say,
as a colour.
I'm obviously white, but I had a lot of racism, but not racism.
You're not white, are you?
Because I'm ginger.
Yes.
I grew up with a lot of like people picking on me and saying horrible things to me all the time because of the colour of my hair, which to me is exactly the same thing as being racist. If you're saying that I'm a fucking ugly ginger bitch, it's exactly the same thing. So I do kind of.
I agree.
It's exactly the same thing, and it's still very right to say things that about ginger people.
Everyone's got their different opinions on the race.
Right, everyone's got their different opinions.
We've
So
got
like
mixed race kids.
Alright.
I say like with Snoop, like I definitely fuck with Snoop, but there was like a deeper connection, you know, with the Outlawz and Pop because the messages.
Revolution's
like,
different, isn't it?
So what would you say like your overall, you know, message or messages, you know,
My
as
message,
artists? What do you have to share with the world?
My message that I always say, as long as people can feel my music and relate to it and bring the essence of music and heartfelt shit, or something they can say, yeah, I've been through that, or we've talked about it, or seen it, I'm doing my job. My job's done. You feel what I'm saying? As long as I can say, or someone can come up to me and go, yo, Bate Nate, I love that tune you've done, and it helped me. I've had people telling me they help. My tunes have helped them through bullying. They've helped me, you know what I mean? Help them help them to be an individual. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, there's a couple years ago, you couldn't be an individual because you come out and you have, you feel what I'm saying? You have 2 earrings. I've got 3 earrings. You come out and do that. A couple years ago, people say, oh, you're free. You know what I mean? But you have to learn to bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way I said, no disrespect to Snoop, he'll spit that gangster shit. And where man's come from that kind of background, I'll be like, yeah, that gangster shit. But you didn't do the keep your head up, some brothers got a baby. And that's what made the difference between Pop and Outlawz and Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dog Pound. You know what I'm saying? They will still do tunes together. And maybe Nate Dogg would be on that level of the deepness, but you wouldn't hear Snoop do a tune, or you wouldn't feel it in that same kind of way because you're thinking, oh, you're just a pimp, Snoop. You wouldn't say Easy. No disrespect to Easy, rest in peace, Easy, but Easy's not a rapper, like, he's not a big L, he's not a, he's not a dead Prince.
I love that you say big L. I love
That's my dog, that's my dog.
You might as well shout out Harlem.
You
might as well shout out Harlem. Hold on, one more time, let me hear that one. Hey yo, hold on. That's some serious shit. If you want to shout out Max B locked up in New Jersey State Penitentiary. Shout out the Filsons, my nigga. Shout out the Filsons.
Yeah, bring out the Filsons.
Already,
New Jersey, free Max Biggerville. I already put my vote online, and I've already written that, and I signed it. Yeah, free Max Biggerville. French Montana needs to do more for his nigga.
Free everybody in New Jersey State Penitentiary. Free all my family in New Jersey State Penitentiary. That's Filson on me.
Real nigga shit.
Real shit.
Matuna, all of them niggas.
Real shit.
You already know.
Fucking Sue Surf? I know that nigga mom. That nigga
Sue
mom
Surf?
like
You saw him?
Yeah,
You know
like
him?
from-
No, I don't know him. Shotgun
Yeah.
Suge.
Left the ring, but where I'm from and where a lot of people are from, we grew up on things called council estates, yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
Council flats, council blocks, white, black, Indian, Greek,
Yeah.
Turkish.
We were all out there.
That's project, right?
Deadlifts, niggas are getting murdered inside their estates. We're seeing that shit. I seen someone get murdered when I was 5 years old at the window, stabbed the shit out of. You know what I'm saying?
You know, let them know it's not
Like,
teas and biscuits.
It's not
and
no
all
teas
that.
and biscuits. But I had, like, you know what? People get confused, especially in America. Caribbean people, they already know what it is because a lot of them try to get their visa and come over and get sent back and depart back. But yeah, they come over here and they see the realness. You know what I'm saying to you? But a lot of Americans are confused with what really goes on. Like from me, myself, not to big it up because I promise I won't let my daughters live the same life that I live. You know what I'm saying? But I always can't deny where I come from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and sit here and say yes, I'm good in this and that. I do my thing. I be my individual. I do myself. You know what I'm saying? If people got problems with me or how I was raised, blame it on society. When I grew up, I put my first strap when I was 14. That's word to bond. Everything I love. You know what I'm saying? 14 running around the streets. So you have to understand what the levels are in this kind of life. Like you have to always know.
Give them a background. The jails. How many times you been
I've
jail?
been
All of
jail
that.
4 times. You know what I mean? Like I've just got my driving license the other day. Why? Because there's been too much times in it. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, the rap career of mine's popping off because people actually know it's not fake, it's real.
Yeah.
So the hard times I'm sitting there, the turbulent times has turned into turbulent rhymes and we make paper of that. And you know what I mean? That's how it goes. And that's how we elevate. It's all about elevation, man. That's the key. And if you're not doing that with your career or anything that you do in your life, then you need to fix another stick. Do something at 7. I had that when I was 20, 27 now. I had it when I was 20. Get me? I've been in their life 100% from day dot. Me and our mums don't get on, but we don't get on like that, but we're still friends. I still keep
The co-parenting's good. The co-parenting's good.
I'm not a weekends dad. I'm hands on. Like she's got epilepsy, so I'm hands on. Like I'm there. Everything. This is what it is. She rang me today to say good luck. You know what I'm saying? She sees me evolve from what I was into what's going on. I'm teaching her to be a man without no punk doing it when she's 16 and saying yeah. I'm teaching her. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad. That's my rules. That's my plan. You know what I mean?
So what do you want to see? What do you want to see? What kind of world do you want to see, or what kind of, you can take it quicker, what kind of a country do you want to see, you know, her grow up in like 20 years, you know what I mean?
So that one there's a tricky one because you can't always, like, you can always be wishful thinking, innit? And you know what I mean? Like I said to certain people as well, like when I say to certain people when I'm out talking to people like yourself and I say, yeah, fuck the Illuminati, they're like, no, that's bigger than you, fam. Like you can't say that and live in this world. But my reply is always, if we got a group of people in this room who's all saying the same thing, fuck Illuminati, then you have a kid, you have a kid, you have a kid. Everything goes on. Like your kid can play with my kid. We can have that same mentality. As young as you go on up, a kid's only an empty glass. What you fill up the juice with is what your information and the info you're giving in their head. So what they know is what you tell them, innit? If I'm saying, if you let them get distracted by society because they don't know nothing else, nothing better, then that's, as a parent, you have that to be blamed of, innit? So what I want to see from my daughter is happy living. I want her to not to be content, I want her to always be ambitious. I don't believe in content. I want her to be ambitious and I want her to always keep striving and elevating, you know what I mean? And that's hopefully what she's going to do through seeing it, through me doing me, you know what I mean? That's what it is. Real nigga.